burned down.
I guess somewhere in these stacks there must be an article about the speakeasy burning down.
Okay, habe ich schon gefragt.
Naturally. I probably wrote it myself. I was quite a reporter back in the day.
Okay, kann ich
Any idea
abbrechen.
what date that article came out?
Well, obviously the day after the speakeasy burned down.
Doing some stargazing?
No, I set my sights on lower things. Is that?
Tannen! Get away from that hubcap before I call your father!
Don't let me keep you from your business.
You there! Don't even think about tossing that
Nein,
Kleenex
das
on
ist
the
Miss
ground!
Strickland, die Mutter von dem hier, Schulleiter. Oder die Frau vom Schulleiter wahrscheinlich eher. Ja, genau, von den Glatzkopf. Nee, weil es ja nicht wieder auf dem Film basiert.
Surely the water's boiling by now.
Dann schauen wir mal, wann die komische Brand war. In den Speakeasies drin da. Weiß ich, wo ich hinfahren muss. Da war Doc nämlich noch da gewesen.
Brown Mansion destroyed. 1962. Oh, no, that's
1942.
not where Doc's stranded. Alright, Einstein brought me this shoe, and Miss Strickland lost the shoe on the day the speakeasy burned down. But when did the speakeasy burn down? I at least need to know the year. Firm announces plans for Lone Pine Mall, Peabody Ranch to be rezoned for commercial development. I don't even know where to start looking for clues in these stacks. Wish I could narrow it down to a year at least. Clint Eastwood plunges to death on runaway train. I don't even know where to start looking for clues in these stacks. Wish I could narrow it down to a year at least. October 28th, 1985. Authorities still mystified by mall shootout. I don't even know where to start looking for clues in these stacks. Wish I could narrow it down to a year at least.
Okay, ich versuche trotzdem noch einmal jetzt.
October 28th, 1985. Authorities still mystified by mall shootout. I don't even know where to start looking for clues in these stacks. Wish I could narrow it down to a year at least.
Das gleiche rausholt jetzt? Mal gucken. Hallo,
October
willkommen.
28th,
Gleiche.
1985.
Naja, okay, finde
Authorities
nichts Neues.
still
Willkommen
mystified
zu Back
by
to the
mall
Future.
shootout.
The Game. Was nach dem
I don't even know where to start looking for
Spiel,
clues in
also
these
mit dem ersten,
stacks.
zweiten
Wish I
Teil
could narrow it down to a
spielt
year at least.
So. Wir schauen mal hier.
Wir verwenden alle 3 Teile erstmal, das Spiel.
The polite guest stays out of the host's kitchen, Mr. McFly.
Dann gehen wir jetzt mal zum Dings hin.
I can't leave now. Miss Strickland's my only hope of finding Doc.
That's what you get with these cheap, foreign-made kettles. But trying to find an American one nowadays. Ugh.
Dann reden wir noch mal mit ihr.
Excuse me, Miss Strickland? I guess somewhere in these stacks there must be an article about the speakeasy burning down.
Naturally. I probably wrote it
Kannst
myself.
mir helfen dabei besuchen?
I was quite a reporter.
Weiß sie, meint jetzt. Hallo, willkommen.
Any idea what date that article
Weil ich
came
finde,
out?
den Schaffel nicht
Well,
mehr.
obviously the day after the speakeasy burned down.
The store building must have gone up after the speakeasy burned down.
Ah, haben wir schon
Following
das Thema. Wir haben
year,
noch
as I
eine
recall.
Unterhaltung. Heißt, wir müssen weiter.
Don't let me keep you from your business.
Ich habe das noch geguckt hier. Ich habe da geguckt. Ich habe da geguckt, da geguckt, da geguckt.
Is that Vice Principal Strickland?
Mother never could keep little Gerald out of her clothes.
Marshall Strickland.
My grandfather, gunned down by Mad Dog Tannen over 100 years
Die
ago.
Geschichte kennen wir ja. Mad
It's
Dog.
not how I remember it.
Tannen, der war dabei.
Jeez, they all look like they've got sticks up.
Mal durch.
What's that?
Nothing.
Das macht mir Fly, ja.
Miss Strickland, about your tea. You forgot to turn on the...
You! It's spelled with a U! You illiterate vandal!
Ah,
That tea's never gonna boil.
schauen wir mal, was wir jetzt machen können. Ich habe nachgeguckt alles. Edna hat ja schon. Das ist keine Laufleine. Laufleine wäre, wenn sie so eine Rolle hätte. Das ist eine feste Leine. Ja, Thomas Schiffing, genau. Was ist dort? Ich will da hin zu dem Ding, ey. Ich kann nicht rausgehen, das Problem. Ich will
I
nicht
guess I'm
raus.
stuck here for a while. That tea's never gonna boil.
Ja, ich will mal gucken. Ach ey, das ist... Deswegen soll ich nicht darauf anspringen.
There's the whistle. Surely the water's boiling by now.
Hey, mind if I use your binoculars for a sec?
Go ahead, dear.
Rebuilt in February 1932. So the fire must have happened before then. But when? I need a date.
Don't look at me. I'm far too old for you. I told you not to touch those.
I'm not leaving until I find Doc somewhere in those newspapers.
There's the whistle. Surely the water's boiling by now.
So, schauen wir mal Newspapers durch. Da müsste es da richtige Jahre haben. So.
Let's see. Ground broken on site of former speakeasy. Singer vanishes. Hill Valley Expo delights crowd. Soup kitchen exposed. Here we go. Speakeasy arsonist slain. Legal
Welches Jahr?
procedure gave way to old-fashioned vengeance last night when a mob descended
Tag?
on the Hill Valley police station. The suspect in the speakeasy arson case, a drifter known as Carl Sagan, was pulled from his... Carl Sagan? It's Doc! Killed by a mob. What's the date? June 14th, 1931. Jeez, I gotta rescue him.
15.
My newspapers!
Sorry, Miss Strickland. Let me...
No! You've gotten my history out of order! Oh, do you know how long it'll take to fix what you've done? Oh, get out! Get out! Get out!
Help! Police! I'm being attacked by hooligans!
So kann man auch da raus. Los geht's. Mr. Fusion.
Marty! Where you been, son? And what are you doing in that getup?
It's a costume. Tonight's the big Halloween party.
Halloween party? In May?
Mein
Never
Vater.
mind, you don't have to explain.
Sie war in den
I'm sure
Haaren.
whatever it is you're up to, you know what you're doing.
Nein, dein Vater von
right?
McFly, von
I
Marty
hope
ist der
so.
Vater.
Hey, sometimes you gotta go out on a limb for
Klar,
the
ist ein
ones
Jung-
you love, right? Wish my dad had understood that. You won't stay away too long.
You'll barely know I was gone.
Auf geht's. In die
Ready to
Vergangenheit.
go?
Zurück in die Vergangenheit. Hehehe. So. Erstmal einstellen.
I've got to turn on the time circuits first. I've got to turn on the time circuits first.
Okay, dann nochmal so. Das da.
I better keep an eye on this. It's really my only way of keeping track of Doc's fate. I better keep an eye on this. It's really my only way of keeping track of Doc's fate. I better keep an eye on
Ah,
this.
ich lass doch-
It's really my
Okay,
only way
halt
of
mal
keeping
suchen
track of
erstmal,
Doc's
ja?
fate.
Untersuchen wir das
According to
nochmal.
this, Doc didn't
Warum
get killed
nicht?
on June 14th,
17. Juni
1931. I've got to go back to June
1931.
13th to rescue him.
11. Juni 31. Okay.
I've got to turn on the time circuits first. Time circuits on. Flux capacitor, fluxing. Okay, if Doc's gonna get killed on June 14th, 1931, I'll just
Juhu,
show up the
Zeitreise.
day before and get him out. I hope you know what you're doing, Doc.
Juhu, Zeitreise. Gut, Zeitreise kommt jetzt. Die erste von ihm, neue. Nein. Das ist kein Teil des eigenen Geschichten. Nach dem dritten Teil spielt das. Und los geht's. Das ist die Musik von Zurück in Zukunft, die Originalmusik von Zurück in Zukunft. Ups. Nein. Ach, schon wieder das Schild. Das kennen wir schon, der Schild, ja. Das Mülleimer, wo das Eimer nach verbrannt hat. Berlin, 2 Meilen entfernt. Gut. Nach leichten Anlaufschwierigkeiten klappt das Spiel jetzt. Langsam läuft es jetzt. Gut, dass ich viele Hilfe nehme.
Einstein,
So.
where'd you go now, boy?
Dann schauen wir weiter. Ja, im ersten Teil war da der Vater, wo sein Vater sich, seine Mutter sich in ihn verliebt hat. In Marty. Das war in der Zeit gewesen, in der Richtung Naked-Zeit gewesen. No. Also heißt, ich müsste in der Bibliothek gucken. Das ist die Aufgabe.
Young man! Excuse me, young man!
Who? Me?
You're the only man in the street, and I'm looking for a man in the street reaction. Naturally, you know about the explosion that destroyed this illegal gin establishment.
I read about it, yeah.
What's your opinion of Carl Sagan, the stranger who single-handedly did what the law has been unable to do for 10 long years, namely, rid Hill Valley of the scourge of liquor?
How'd Doc get himself into...
Doc?
Doc is his nickname. I'm good friends with Carl.
You are? Really? Oh, but I need an unbiased opinion for my story. Pretend you don't know him. How would you feel about his heroic act of destruction?
Was nehmen wir denn da mal? Mal gucken. Am besten das.
There's gotta be some sort of mistake here. Carl wouldn't do something like that.
It's surprising the lengths a person will go to when it's a clear-cut matter of right and wrong. You've got an honest look about you. You do...
Well, I'm not so big on bomb blasts.
Yes, but this bomb blasted a speakeasy, the very symbol of lawlessness and corruption. You're all for cleaning up the town, aren't you? Do you have a message for the vicious gangsters who still roam these streets, no doubt plotting to corrupt our citizens with another den of booze, sin, and debauchery?
Yeah, tell him, go ahead, make my day.
Make your day what? Never mind. I'll play around with it and see if I can come up with something better. Mr... May I get your name?
Yeah, it's... Michael Corleone.
Thank you for sharing your candid opinions, Mr. Corleone.
Michael
and Mr.
Corleone,
Hill Valley
der
Herald.
Pate. Auch ein Film von
I know, I met you back. I'm
1902.
familiar with your work.
Sehr guter
You
Film.
read my column?
Auch
How
ein
sweet.
Vierteiler.
I know it's just an etiquette column,
Der
but
Pate
I
ist auch ein
believe it will
Vierteiler.
lead to bigger and better... Oh!
Von gleichen
Einstein, no, down,
Studio.
boy.
Is this wretched
Yeah.
creature yours? He assaulted me once before.
What's got into you?
Aggressive dogs must be kept on leash at all times. It's the law. Look it up.
Doc, I gotta find Doc.
Wir wissen ja, wo Doc ist, bei der Polizeistation. Hehehe. Das erzählt der Zeitungszeit hatte mir gerade. Hier wollte ich ausgucken noch. Wenn er schon angezeigt wird.
I guess this is where the speakeasy burned down. How'd Doc ever get mixed up in that?
Okay.
Bank of Italy?
So. Und wer wieder angefahren? Nein. Na, wer schreibt denn?
McFly? Biff? Kid? Grandpa?
That's Mr. Tannen to you, Artie. What are you doing out here?
Well,
I
Das ist
was
der
getting
Vater
kinda
von,
hungry,
so
so
der
I
Vater
figured
von
I'd
Biff,
come down here for
glaube ich.
some
Der
free
Großvater
soup.
von Biff. Großvater
Just
von
thought
Biff.
I'd come down for some soup. Think, McFly. The DA's
Nein,
throwing
das war
around
noch
subpoenas
früher.
like Babe Ruth.
I don't think Ruth's a pitcher anymore.
Shut it. If one of those subpoenas landed in the hands of my number cruncher, I'd be in a whole lot of
Das ist ein Helfer
trouble.
von ihm
I
nur.
could even get
Ja,
sent
der
up the
sitzt ist
river.
der Vater.
You wouldn't
Also der
want that, would
Großvater
you?
von McFly. Ja, von dem Vater von Michael.
No, of course
Marty,
not,
genau.
kid.
All right, that's better. What are you looking at, punk?
Keep your eyes on the soup, kid.
Well,
Well, what?
what are you still doing here?
Sorry, kid. I'll just run back to the safe house.
You do that. And McFly,
Yes?
that hat's too flashy. You better let me hold on to it. Now scram!
You got it, boss.
Meins.
And don't come out until I give you the all clear. I swear, if even one of you mooks could add 2 plus 2 without your fingers, I'd dump that wimp into the lake. Hey! Anyway, I'm off to make myself irresistible. Don't let anyone burn down the shop while I'm gone.
Das ganze Biff von mir ist alles gleich. Also, genau. Also.
There's no way I'm gonna keep that door open without some help. Maybe I should go to the jail and talk to Doc before I start dialing random people in 1931. I better not talk to him. I don't want to mess up his timeline.
Was wirklich? Nö. Ich darf die Zeitlinie nicht beeinflussen, also darf nicht viel machen. Wenn muss ich wieder richtig stellen alles. Naja. Das war auch nicht. Hallo, willkommen zurück. Wir spielen Back to the Future. Das Spiel natürlich. So, morgen rauskommen, nur war es aktiviert worden. Bin gestern nicht dazu gekommen. Gestern Nacht habe ich so mal gespielt. Also spiele ich es heute. Hello, welcome to Back to the Future. Yesterday it's coming out at 9 o'clock. Also this day. And I played Soma. Don't have time to play Back to the Future last night. Da komme ich endlich rein.
The kitchen's for management only, Rummy.
Bist du wow. Ja, ich weiß, die ganze guckt auch ganz dazu. Ja. Na, es kann nicht eine Party spielen. Das kann man alleine spielen. Es ist nur ein Spiel für eine Person. Ja, das läuft nicht, also kann ich nur rausgehen, ja? Ah ja, kann ich nur rausgehen. Halt, da war was. Nein, da nicht. Nein, er wollte gar nicht hin, ich war daneben.
The kitchen's for management only, Rummy.
Whoa!
Looks like these pipes go into the basement.
Heißt, du musst den Keller runter. Psst, die leg ich gleich wieder hin, die will nur auf Toilette gehen. Heißt, ich muss den Keller runter anscheinend, wa? Wie komme ich denn da runter in den Keller? Hier reingehe?
Where is the jail in 1931 anyway? Doc!
Marty,
Doc!
what are you doing here?
You sent for me, Doc.
I did? When?
May 14th, 1986.
1980? The automatic retrieval system, of course. I'd almost forgotten about that.
So what's our plan for getting you out of here?
Plan? We don't need a plan.
We don't.
Not in the slightest. The police picked me up for that speakeasy fire a couple of weeks ago, but the DA hasn't got a case. They're releasing me tomorrow morning.
So basically, I traveled 50 years into the past to deliver your car?
Sorry about that, but it's so wonderful to see you. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, you might want to hold off on that, Doc.
Oh,
Great Scott! I'm going to be gunned down by
2
gangsters
Stunden
on the
ist nicht
steps
gewesen.
of the courthouse.
Why would they do that?
Guess they didn't approve of my burning down their speakeasy.
Very funny, Doc. Maybe now we should come up with a plan.
A plan, right? But what?
Hey, maybe I could talk to the gangsters. Tell them they're about to shoot the wrong guy.
I don't think the criminals of this era are going to be very receptive to a complete stranger telling them that their secret assassination plan is misguided. Do you?
Why don't we tell the authorities?
Tell them what? That my friend from the future has proof that I'll be murdered tomorrow? They'd ship us both off to the loony bin. And trust me, you don't want to see the inside of a 1931 insane asylum.
Why don't I take the DeLorean, go back in time before you were arrested, and stop you from getting caught in the first place?
Don't even think about it. Without my unjust intervention, the events that sent you into the past might never happen, resulting in a paradox of continuum shattering proportions.
Jeez, we've been back together for 5 minutes, Doc, and you're already talking about the end of the universe. I've missed that.
Ridiculous, Marty. I was only referring to the end of the universe as we know it.
Why don't we try to tough it out? Now that we know what's coming, maybe we sneak it past the gangsters with a bulletproof vest or something.
That might work with 1 or 2 bullets, but from the looks of this article, it appears that I'm going to be mowed down in a hail of Tommy gunfire that rendered the innocent stranger little more than a puffy mass of bones and gristle.
Who writes like that?
According to the byline, one Edna Strickland.
I should have guessed.
Strickland ist Richter, na wunderbar.
Well, I suppose I could just get some dynamite and break out of jail.
No, that's far too dangerous. Not just to me, but to random innocent people in the past. The repercussions could be... That's it!
What's it?
My rocket-powered drill.
You have a rocket-powered drill?
Not yet. I haven't built it yet.
You've lost me, Doc.
Listen, a few months ago, my 17-year-old self sent in a patent
Okay,
application for a rocket-powered drill. I abandoned the project after I never heard back from the patent office, but the prototype should
Ja, ich lese die deutsche Übersetzung
complete.
nicht so oft.
Hey, I'll just run back to your lab.
No, I said nearly complete.
Meistens, was ich machen muss.
Maybe help you
Deswegen.
finish it.
How the hell am I supposed to sneak a half-finished
Ja, das Lesen
rocket-powered
das
drill
läuft
into
so schnell
your
vorbei
cell?
manchmal.
Not me. 19...
Also ich werde den englischen
Wait a
Text
minute,
so.
Doc. You want me to convince your 1931 self to build a rocket-powered drill to break you out of jail?
Precisely.
Won't talking to yourself cause, irreparable space time or something?
It should be fine. I've already invented the idea of the rocket drill. You've just got to goad my younger self into finishing the prototype.
How am I supposed to convince your younger self to finish the rocket drill? Just tell him I need to break his older self out of jail?
Absolutely not. Whatever you do, you can't tell my younger self anything about time travel. I won't come up with the inspiration for the flux capacitor for another 24 years.
Then what am I supposed to...
Just be your charming self. From what I remember, I'm a pretty easygoing kid, so enlisting me in a scientific adventure should be a piece of cake.
Okay, let's say I go along with this crazy idea. Where can I find you? I mean, the other you.
How should I know? It was over 50 years ago. Why don't you go over to the soup kitchen next door and give my house a call? They'll know where to find me.
Soup kitchen. Got it.
Just stay away from the soup. It'll cause irreparable damage to your digestive system.